Okay, so earlier I was listening to Farron Cousins, and the title of his video, you want to go and listen to it, is Democrats Getting Angry That Party Won't Hold an Actual Primary. And as a person there, they're basically saying, we hate Harris. Isn't there another route to go? We're not exactly fans of Biden. And if they're going to be on the ticket, then we're not going to vote for them at all. We just won't vote at all. And I'll be honest with you, in Farron Cousins, he mentioned how unpopular Kamala Harris is. And it's funny how he likes to tell everyone that that people just have such a short memory and things like that. And I cannot begrudge him on that. I do agree. People have such a short memory, and sometimes it's not that they have a short memory, it's just that how do you reconcile one and still try to be able to do what you want to do? And this is one of these cases of cognitive dissonance that rests so wholeheartedly in the fearful hearts of the Democrats. And see, at first I didn't want to say all this, but I'm like, who's going to listen to me? Who's going to hear me? Plus, I don't have a massive base. I don't have anyone that's touting the lines and words of comparative reasoning. So I'm not beholden to anybody. I get to say what I want to say. That gets me carte blanche up here. And so my thoughts, and I wrote them down, and so far, you know, on his channel, I got 2 upvotes for that. So yay. But I said I wish Farron would recall that Biden is indebted to Harris on a personal and racial level. Biden cannot pick anyone else. Either learn to help other parties get on the stage or shut up and deal with your lack of options. Because that's exactly what you have, is a lack of options. And these people would rather not vote at all. Okay? They'd rather not vote at all for the Democratic Party and just abstain from the election than to push maybe an equal or better candidate that's in another party that's not in the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. Just a different party in general. I mean, it's like I would rather use the water hose that's connected to the yellow hydrant to put out this fire that's going to burn down my home than the blue hydrant that looks weird in the neighborhood. The problem is there's no hose to the yellow one, so you just abstain and you're mad that your house is burning down. It just doesn't make sense. Sidra's here, and I think she might have she was having some thoughts earlier, and I thought she should share them.
So Farron Cousins said that in the history of vice presidents, that Kamala Harris is the most disliked. And he brought up Cheney. I had forgotten about him.
Yeah, Bush. Bush Cheney.
And the first one I brought up was Quayle, because Quayle was an idiot. Quayle was a public idiot. And, you know, I didn't know anything about politics at the time, but when Bush pulled Quayle out of his hat, I was like, what in the world? And so I don't think that holds any water. As far as
he was going on statistics.
And I know, as far as ability, I mean, when it comes to vice presidents, I'm sure they do something. Nobody knows what.
They're tiebreakers. They're more like the...
I mean, they have a role.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm not talking about their role. I'm talking about, if you break it down, what have individual vice presidents done? Because they don't tell us. They very rarely tell us what vice presidents do. When Obama was president and Biden was vice president, he was there for a little bit, and then like for the last 6 years Obama was president, you didn't see him. Biden couldn't keep his foot out of his mouth, so they couldn't let him speak.
Biden was honest.
They couldn't let him do anything.
Yeah, he was honest about a lot of things, and now he's learned to shut up.
So that's why I don't think any of that holds any water. One, and then two, and Sedrik just referenced it. You know, Biden is beholden to Kamala. I mean, he made a decision before, you know, when he was running, that if he chose a vice president, it was going to be a woman. I think that's what he said. So he said that, you know, knowing that, okay, that's going to, if I get a woman in here, it's going to be the woman vote. It's not just because I suddenly, you know, have a deep regard for the ability of women. No, that's not it. He wanted the woman vote. That's why he said that. One, that's why he did that. Then the whole thing happened on stage with Kamala about the stuff that he did back in the day directly affecting her, because he's been in government forever doing very little harm reduction.
Yep, he made it so that she could not go to the school of her choice and be, you know, in an integrated school, and that stunted a bit of her education.
Had to be bused to school across town and stuff like that.
Yep.
So after that,
when that girl was me, and he paused, I said, Sidra, that if he wins, he's got to choose her. He has no choice.
So,
and that was real time, not hindsight.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So after that happened on stage live and in color in front of everybody, well, here you go. We got a woman. She's got a little bit of a following, and she's black. Regardless of her stance, regardless of how her daddy feel about her, regardless of what she did when she was in her public office, she's a black woman. So you got the woman vote, you got the black vote. He had it locked in. And it wasn't because I suddenly feel bad about what I did back in the day. No, he wanted the woman vote. He wanted the black vote. Just like when Kane chose Palin. Nobody knew who the hell she was, but she was a woman. And they're like, oh man, she's a woman. She's a mom and she's a Republican. Yay! He didn't respect Palin's abilities. She was a woman. So the only other thing that Biden could do, would be to choose another black woman. But of course, that's going to look bad historically, and nobody's thinking about this. Everybody wants Kamala Harris replaced, and what about this vice president is different than the others? She's a black woman. Cheney shot somebody in the face, nobody cared. As I said, Dan Quayle was an idiot, and there are 10s and 20 more vice presidents who were probably quiet, ineffectual, and just, you know, rode out their time until it was over.
Yep.
It's going to look really bad, if you just suddenly replace Kamala because she doesn't do anything and nobody likes her. That's just BS.
Laugh at us now, quote us later.
That's just BS. You're gonna replace her? If Biden truly wants to, it doesn't matter if he replaces her. I don't think it would matter if he replaced her with another black woman.
No, it's not gonna matter. Although there are a few out there that would basically be saint progressives compared to Harris. You know, I mean, Harris is not somebody that's for minorities at all. She's very Republican minded. She is exceedingly anti-drugs to the point where marijuana should be up there in her mind with heroin and cocaine.
But just like everyone else, black people are as guilty as anyone else of being tribal. And they'll be like, hey, I don't like what she stands for, but she black. You get rid of the black woman, shh, I can't vote for you, Biden. That's how it's going to go down.
Yep. But then again, the black vote is what? I mean, on a grand scale in this country, what, 10% of all votes? That's if the black people are voting.
The ones who are voting, Sedrik.
I'm talking about as a whole.
Oh yeah, I'm serious. But the ones who vote, the ones who turn up, the ones who show out, are the black women. Mm-hmm. They always do.
And whenever we go to vote, It's just a sea of black women. You don't see too many black dudes.
Nope. They're voting and they're working the polls. I mean, I think it'd be shooting his foot off, but you know, it's not my foot. I don't think that would be the best course of action. And hopefully somebody in his ear is telling him that.
Just keep in mind, politics is about what can I do to gain your vote, not what I can do to help you out.
Exactly. I'm going to say what I got to say and do what I got to do. If people running for office could get away with paying their constituents $100 to come to the polls and vote for them, they do it.
They did at one point. They got caught for it. They got caught. It was quick. You know, getting paid. Not, I didn't say $100, but you know, it was back in the day when you just couldn't prove too much. You know, but
with understanding that it's about getting your vote, not about helping you out. That would be a bad move for Biden. And it'd be a real bad look.
If they wanted to help you out, it would be impossible to help you and not reduce the profits of their donors. Just think about that. They got to cater to those donors. The Democrats try to go the fine line between, yeah, you all right, but our donors, now we got to make sure you're very all right. But not too all right, because if you're too all right, it'll give up the game. Because then the Democrats will be seen as just another party catering to oligarchs. And the Democrats have already pushed the voters to the right. But the Republicans are so far radicalized and groomed and indoctrinated into the far right that the Democrats, no matter how much on the right they are, appear left. That's the great illusion and delusion. Democrats are they're not center right, they're right. They are where Reagan was. And the Republicans, they are where Hitler was. They're trying to pass legislation. Think about it. And took away, you know, the abortion, not rights, but the ability to get an abortion. Then they're going to track where you are going if you are pregnant, deny if you are pregnant, regardless of your age. They've tried to get the guns from minorities, but not from God-fearing white people. They're passing legislation to make sure that although LGBTQIA people should have equal rights with other people, they remove the person in the term people and then take those things from them. The Supreme Court is just passing this stuff. The things are being pushed on their table. They look over it, and you got Clarence Thomas, who is legitimately out there and is quoted for saying that the Democrats tried to hurt me when I got onto the Supreme Court. I'm going to spend the rest of my life ruining them. Clarence Thomas will do anything horrible so long as it stick it to the left. It is a 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court, and everything that they have done has been in the light of the right.
Oh, this is Clarence Thomas's time. He probably feel like he 18 again. He been on the darn Supreme Court for what, 30 years? Close to 40, and been quiet as a church mouse. He's as quiet as a church mouse when they just released the snakes to see how saved you are. But all of a sudden, he's got so much to say. He's all in the public eye, writing up the little things and stuff they got to write up whenever the cases come through. Oh, he's loving it. He's loving it. And I said this to my mom the other day. Anita Hill tried to tell y'all. Anita Hill tried to tell y'all when y'all will come down when he was getting confirmed. He ain't who he say he is. He riding dirty. He did all this stuff to her. He did all this stuff around her that isn't befitting someone that's going to be in this space. Y'all didn't want to listen. The white folks didn't want to listen. And the black folks didn't want to listen either, because they were so, oh, he's black. They were so tribal about it. They didn't realize just because he black don't mean he good. And here we are.
Clarence Thomas got on the Supreme Court the same way R. Kelly at first avoided going to prison. Because he good. No, Clarence Thomas knows the law, but that don't mean he's going to uphold the law. R. Kelly, he can sing. He can get some composed music going and get a good album going. That don't mean he's an all-around good guy.
Not at all. And Clarence Thomas, you know that he benefited from some of the from affirmative action that was in place when he was a young man going through the educational system, going through college and law school and all of that.
He's the first black judge, so that's affirmative action.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He's the second.
I was like, I forgot who that first one.
Thurgood Marshall.
There we go.
Thurgood Marshall, talking about standing on the back of a legend to piss on him. That's all that he's done. As far as Clarence Thomas done, it's appalling. It's appalling. And he's happy as hell. Happy as hell. Neither he'll try to tell y'all.
I ain't gonna lie. I think he's so miserable he doesn't know what joy is. I think if you ever watch a Republican get what they want, they don't smile. It's more like finally, and they move on to the next thing that they can hurt the country with. You think they're not coming for you? No, they all coming for you.
They just got to get there. Just got to find the thing that you care about.
Now look, this did start with the thing about Farron Cousins, but you know something? Look, I ain't saying Farron Cousins is a bad guy. Don't listen to him and stuff. No. It's just everyone's got their thoughts and their beliefs and whatnot. And so here we go with the clear mind. We're not, like, Farron's already said he's going to vote blue no matter who. He's already said that. And he's also said that we need more parties while at the same time demonizing the fact of a third party. We need more candidates. We need more parties. We need a democracy, but I'm going to make sure I don't do anything to help that. How do you reconcile that in your mind? How do you do that? I'm tired of being alone. I need a woman in my life. I need someone to love, but I'm never going to leave the house. And if a woman steps to me, I'm going to punch her in the face because that's just what I got to do. There'll be no woman around me. I'm so lonely. How do you do that? We need more parties. We need people to help. We need better candidates, optional candidates. We need that. But I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to push them. And they're all vanity. So, they all suck by nature. But please, we need more. That is cognitive dissonance. And he's on a bullhorn with it. So that's where I thoroughly disagree with Farron Cousins. And that cognitive dissonance is why he can mess up in epic areas. That's what that is, and I call that out almost every time. It's obvious if you're a listener, and I mean a listener, if you go to Farron Cousins, call him out on it. Say, hey, it's not right that you're doing this. And I promise you, seriously, I Sedrik, promise you, he'll listen. He will listen. Farron Cousins is someone that when he gets the better information, he will start putting forth the change. He will. I know that. And yet we need help. As Farron said in a more recent video as of July 8th, a more recent video to this day, that we need to do our own research into candidates and whatnot. But he wasn't talking about third party, fourth or whatnot party. He's talking about Democrats. He's talking about somewhat Republicans. How do you get democracy when you just say, well, it's only a duopoly? You can't do that. Democracy is the many over the few. Democracy is an option. It's a choice. And if you make sure that people don't have options, they don't have choices, then it's not a democracy. You understand? I hope you all do.
I do.
And then, and And even if you say, well, you know what? I hear you and I agree with you, but no, you are messed up. You are messed up in your head. You can't agree and then say, but no. You want a better life? Listen, I'm gonna make this clear. Okay? I'm gonna make it clear. These politicians, they are grown people. Okay? They are doing what they want to do. They do not have to side on behalf of the major companies. They don't have to sit there and cater to big oil, big pharma, and all of them. They don't have to, because they get a hefty check from the taxpayers. They are on the stock market. They might own small businesses, write books, and they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So if you got a politician that's going to not do the job that they were sworn in to do, if they're not going to do that job, then they've never been on your side. They've been a liar. There's no need to even go with that. Voting for other parties, what that does is make them say, oh crap, I can't do what I've been doing. I got to actually deliver on my promise. I got to make a promise and try my best to deliver. Because now they're scared. It's like a cult leader. If a cult leader is like, yeah, live my way, do my way, my bidding, yada, 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 and people start to get tired of it because it's like we give and we love and we praise and we're on your side, but we're withering and we're hurting, we're starving, we're thirsty, we miss our families. You know, we've been driving people away because we believe in you. And then all of a sudden people say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm broken. I'm tired. I am mentally drained. I am leaving. And at first, you know what that cult leader is going to do? That cult leader is first going to start demonizing who they're going to or who they think they're going to. Then they're going to start demonizing those that leave and those that's left and start praising harder on those that stay. But then as more leave, because nothing's going to change, because the cult leader's trying to make sure nothing has to change. And when enough leave, either three things may happen. They'll say, I can't do this. I've lost my flock. And they're in so much despair, they're going to kill themselves. Or they say, it's over. I lost. I don't have them. And they just go do something else somewhere. But they'll always be remembered as that cult leader. And they'll have a few people saying, bring it back, please. And they say, don't have the numbers. And the fire's been burned out anyway. They spent all their energy trying to keep the people, where all the people spent all their energy trying to be a part of him or her. And then you got the final choice of, I done lost enough people. I need to make a change and figure out what I need to do right. And that's what the Democrats will probably go through, because that's what Trump went through. Remember that? Trump had every Republican on his side. And then McConnell and others started speaking up. And because they were saying not to be as loony as Trump, Trump then started the term rhino, Republican in name only. And now people are leaving the cult. They're never going to vote Democrat. And most likely they'll only vote Trump if it shows great promise. But they went back to their original cult leaders. And Trump called those former supporters rhinos. And his supporters called them rhinos. And his supporters called them traitors. Called them traitors. And it dwindled. Just like Twitter. Twitter had a following. It wasn't a cult following. And then a cult leader took control. I get more money if I'm on the side of dear leader. And then a former cult leader says, I lost my Facebook people. I'm out. Let's try this. So now there's Threads. And what has Musk done? What did he do? He demonized those that was on Twitter that left. Now he's demonizing Threads, trying to force a lawsuit that the court threw out. And I'm sure he's going to try again. Now he's blaming Zuckerberg. And people are leaving. 70 million people have signed up for Threads. Probably 80 million. But people are leaving Twitter because Twitter is now the working version of Truth Social, which is plummeting almost to nil now. And Twitter is on its way. And Trump wanted to be back on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Trump, who has constantly said, if things are bad, I'd rather be on, I'd rather be with the person that doesn't quit. I'd rather, be with the person that doesn't get captured. I'd rather be with the girl that doesn't, get molested and all that other stuff. He said these things. How much do you think he's going to want to go back to Twitter? Now, Threads is going to be a thing. Mastodon is finally being a thing. Other people can come up. You know what those people are? They're third party. Threads is a third party. Mastodon is a fourth party before Threads, but finally getting some recognition. Because others spoke about it, others went to it, and those others talk about it. Yeah, they've all got their hiccups because nothing is perfect. You can't agree on everything that anyone ever says. However, you know that they're not going to kill you. You know they're going to try to hurt you. And they're going to try to do good for you and allow you to be in a safe area, a safe space, or whatnot as you wish. And that's comforting. And people want that. People want to be comfortable. So remember, politicians, they want your vote, but they don't want to help you. But if you want politicians to help you, you have to change you and vote better. And that will force politicians to act like they got some sense. Corporations have a lot of money. They don't pay their people well. But then when competitions pop up, they start offering deals and things like that. And when the deals aren't working and the employees is like, hey, look, I'm going to go over here because y'all are paying me bones and I want some meat or thicker veggies or a lot more veggies, depending upon how you work in your diet. And the corporations do what? We'll offer you benefits. You should have done that all a long time ago. We'll pay you more money. You should have done that a long time ago. And then that's how some corporations go under, because of competition. Without competition, you get lazy, you get a dictatorship, you get what we have with this dual party. That's what you get. So please, if you can, let's get some political competition. Don't stifle it, promote it. And with that, thank you for listening.